Good evening, everybody. This is Will Torres with VSN doing a Zoom meeting with Imperial Valley coaches and other people around the valley. Next to me is my partner, my broadcast partner, my go-to guy, my guy I rely on the most inside the booth, Mr. Ron Rubio. Ron, how you doing tonight?
We are doing good, Chief. Really excited about tonight. Last night was a big hurdle doing this for the first time. So let's see what today, day two, does for us.
I'll tell you what, you're exactly right, man. We started off with Coach Bernard Van, Mount Empire, man. That guy's a blast. I really enjoyed him. Great personality. Coach Jason Turner, you know, he was a little bit quieter than he is when we talk to him off the air, but he's one of those guys that's he's a true coach, Ron, man, and I'm excited for the things that Hopeville that hopefully happen to Hopeville this year, and he's excited. The whole city of Hopeville is excited. It's going to be fun. He's got that young team. He's finally had that team. You know, he's had them since they were 7th and 8th graders, and this is going to be the senior class. He's senior heavy. It's going to be freaking awesome to see what Coach Turner and the Hopeville Vikings can do. And then what else can you say, man? When you get Mr. Doug Klein, and
wow,
Doug Klein, of course, was here to visit VSN looking for a couple of job applicants. And part of the bonus for the job applicant, Ron, was pretty interesting. One of his PE coaches got let go. So he said to try to figure out who that was, we're going to have to ask Craig Lyon tonight. And lucky we got him later on this evening. So it'll be interesting what Mr. Lyon has to say about that that position, that PE position, leaving the Hornets Nest down there in North County. And then we ended it on a very good night with Mr. Gil Revelar. You know, Gil Revelar, ex-player out of the Brawley Nation, out of the Wildcat Nation down here. Had some interesting stories, how football kept them in a straight path. And it was, you know, we talked about that earlier. Well, I spoke with Coach Swearingen, and me and you've talked about it before, Ron, how to be in any program and anywhere in the Valley, one of the things that football has always done, and we can relate to it, it's always been that disciplined sport.
That's right.
You know, I'm not, you know, like I'll use myself as an example, but, you know, I wish I could go back in time and just do the academics a lot more. You know,
exactly.
Like I really, truly wish, you know, that could happen. But because, you know, now it's a scholar athlete, Ron. It's a scholar athlete that's on that field all the time. They are well represented. You know, everybody's bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter on the football field now. And the coaches, you know, these coaches got to coach up now. You know, it's not the old school game, you know. These coaches, they're coaching 24/7, Ron. You know that as being on the coaching staff at Raleigh. You know, every year these coaches have to coach up, just like they expect those players to do the same thing. Everybody has to coach up. So, you know, we're going to have a great evening. And why do I say that? Because the evening's going to start with two icons from Calexico, Mr. John Moreno and Vic Carrillo. Now, those guys don't even need introduction themselves, especially in the South County down there. But when they come on, they're probably one of the most enjoyable people. I really enjoy talking to them. I want to be at their level when it comes down to what they do for Calexico. One of the things they do, Ron, is, as both of us know, they're the voice of the Calexico Bulldogs. So, and not only that, during the basketball games, and they're all around the facilities when it comes to Calexico sports. So true icons from Calexico will start us off early. Then we're going to go. We have a situation in Calexico, Ron. We have a situation where Calexico does not have a head coach yet.
Right.
So we're going to ask Coach Ruben Castro, which last year coached the freshman squad. He's also been with Vincent Memorial a couple of years, and he's also been a defensive coordinator for the Bulldogs in previous years. We're going to actually ask him, what's the situation? What's going on? Are you a candidate? You know, and then we're going to ask him. He's been in the program. He's been involved. We're going to ask him a couple of questions, see what he's got to say about that. And then one of the newcomers as well to Imperial Valley is going to be Coach Wally Grant. Wally Grant comes out of the Palo Verde area. He's not originally from Palo Verde, but he's had I would say a summer home there near the river. So he's always coached in the West Coast area. He's been in the college ranks. He's done an excellent job. It's his second year. And the interesting thing about him, Ron, he's got a young team, and not only is it young, it's actually a pretty talented team, Ron. So we're going to ask him about those questions about that young team he has, and then you know, we're going to jump in straight to Mr. Craig Lyon. One of the things, one of the reasons we are bringing Craig Lyon on board is, first of all, he's the principal down there at Central Union High School. We're going to ask him, you know, what's going on down there? What are some of the things that are happening? It seems like Central's on a good roll right now, Ron. Everything's going positive towards their way.
Sure.
A lot of good things are happening to them. You know, they've been back to back. You know, a couple of years city championships. He's, of course, you know, back to back with Bell games. And then an interesting note when I'm talking back to back champs, something he used to coach at Southwest, Ronnie. And I don't know what the story is, but Southwest got rid of him. And then something about the Lion Jinx. I don't know too much about it. I want to ask him about that, the Lion Jinx. He said he finally shook it off. We're going to ask him what he did to shake off that Lion Jinx. So it's going to be a fun night tonight. Like I said, right after this break, we'll be joined by two icons from Calexico, Vic Carrillo and Mr. John Moreno. VSN will be right back. Welcome, everybody. This is Will Torres back from our commercial break. And of course, like I said earlier, I've on my left-hand side right here, hopefully he's on your screen here, I got Mr. Coach Ron Rubio. And joining us tonight, as I mentioned earlier, two icons from the beautiful city of Calexico, Mr. John Moreno and Vic Carrillo, the voice of the Bulldogs. And nobody says it better like Vic Carrillo.
From the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on a Wednesday night. It's exciting.
This is VSN Sports.
As we introduce the voice of choice, the real deal, the Master Blaster, Johnny Mo, John Moreno Brown.
Thank you, Vic, and good to see you, Will. Good to see you, Coach Rubio. This is an awesome opportunity that you have given to the Valley. This VSN is just, it's like it's ESPN. You know, when, I got to hand it to you guys. When we have a bye week and when we had when you guys were in the playoffs this year and you guys were telecasting, not broadcasting.
That's
you
right.
Guys were going live, describing the action, Ron Rubio play-by-play, and giving us the perspective from the officiating, Will Torres, and from a player perspective, you guys did an outstanding job. I don't know how we can compete with that, Vic.
Well, you know, the constant upgrading, but the important thing is getting the message out there on interscholastic sports and getting these local athletes publicized and promoted. And this is a great medium to do it. So Will and Ron, I tip my hat to you.
You know,
thank you, sir. Appreciate
first of all, coming from you guys, I really appreciate that. And Ron, I don't think I've told. By the way, Ron, I got your hat here, Ron.
Oh, hey.
On, man.
Well, what the heck? Oh, thanks.
All right, buddy. There you go.
Thanks. Enough of the trip.
What the heck? All right. Once again, man, you know, coming from those words coming from you guys, I really appreciate that. I mean, because John, I've known you a lot of years, Vic, you know, hanging around you guys. And it's, you know, especially, you know, when it came down to refereeing, I'd always go up there at halftime. We'd always have a couple of words. You know, we'd go into at halftime in the locker room and listen to your halftime show. So, you know, that's one of the things we want to get to where you're at, John, because part of the VSN, it's the personality aspect, you know. When you listen to you guys, you know, through Bulldog Radio, I believe it's 1190 this year. Is that correct, John?
990.
990 AM. So, you know, that's, you guys really bring out what's going out on the field. You bring out the pride, you bring out the energy, you bring out what's in the crowd, what you guys feel. And we're trying to get there. You know, Ron and I are trying to get there. And with VSN, we're putting a little bit of spice to it. You know what I mean? So, and you know, people might not know this, but me and John have been talking about, and people in Calexico, people around, please question John about, hey, come on, when are you going to join VSN, man? Because it's been talked about. We've been kicking ideas around. John's interested, and it would still be Bulldog football. There's no way we would ever change it, as we have talked before about that, John. We just we want to add a couple of things to it, John.
And I agree with you, Will. I would love to do to have it videoed and audioed and kind of like the parties, you know, on a Friday night start at kickoff anywhere in the Valley. And I know that Victor is ready for that. We got to iron out some details, because this is the future now. This, you know, radio, we've been doing radio for this is going to be our 27th year on the air through various radio stations. And it took a lot to get here. You know, Victor and I were struggling at the beginning, and but every game we look to improve our broadcast. What did we do wrong? You know, we should have said this, we should have said that. And Victor never minces his words. You know, he has the history of not only Calexico, Imperial County, who played at UCLA in 1962. You know, Vic has the knowledge that is part of our program. You know, I give the play-by-play. I do a lot of what when I was coaching in the early 90s, playing in the 70s, looking at football in the 80s. You know, it's credit where credit is due to all the Valley teams, and we thank you for having us on tonight.
No, we really appreciate it. And, you know, one thing we need to mention, not only does Victor know the knowledge, he was also a stud himself back in the day playing for Calexico Bulldogs, throwing a couple of, was it 1 or 2 no-hitters there, Vic?
Make it 4. I'm just but
like that.
It was a different type of ball that we used. It was like a wiffle ball. No, but it was a lot of fun back in the day. Everybody knew each other. We all played against each other through Little League, Pony League, Colt League, Babe Ruth, etc., through grade school. So we were friends off the field and on the field. And we'd get together. You know, guys from Brawley would come down, like Skipper and Alex Messino and Willie Vasquez would come down to go get haircuts in Mexicali. I would be their tour guide. And so we had friendships. So when we all, after the games, when we shook hands to, you know, experience the sportsmanship aspect, it was really good to see each other after the game and just talk about, you know, each other's play and congratulate each other for a great effort, regardless of the outcome or the score.
Yeah, that's a true fact you said right there. And speaking of that, you talked about being 27 years in this business, John. How did you get in there? What were those first years like, and what was that, you know, that hey, let's go do this?
Well, it was, I had been coaching with Al Gutierrez on the freshman and JV levels for Calexico High School. And, you know, he knew that Mike Leonard and Cal Mandel from KAMP and that radio broadcast, you know, they needed someone to fill in. And I got a call. I had to audition. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was more of a PA guy than really a radio guy. And I called Vic. I says, I need someone to talk to, because I was doing the games by myself. And the radio station, Mike Leonard, would read commercials. And there was some airtime that I needed to be filled. And who better to fill it than Victor Carrillo's knowledge. And so he decided to do the home games back in 1994, and and the local games, and then we started off like that, and then we stayed with, and we went to KICO 1490, and we went to KPBS, and then and then 1120 and Mexicali, and now we're with Radio Rama, who is a big conglomerate and has hundreds of stations in Mexico, and so they've been allowing us to broadcast. But Victor and I listened to Hacksaw, we listened to Pat Summerall, we listened to many people so that we could describe the play better, use the better jargon, coaches' jargon, and then try to give the people that listen to us a good description of what's going on the field.
What I try to do, as far as adding to the broadcast with John, because I mentioned he's the voice of choice and he would articulate the action on the field, is just bring in a history through the color commentary, like a player that made a reception or a good tackle or what have you on the offensive side or defensive side of the ball for either team, the opponent or the Bulldogs. When people tuned in, I wanted to make sure that they felt that they were listening to their home game, even though we were the opponent, type of thing. And I would do my preparation during the week, so I try to share stories. Well, this is the son of Will Torres, or this is the grandson of Will Torres, type of thing. Or, his uncle played in 1958 and he was All Valley, and later, went on to do this or that. And so people started tuning in. And I remember the late Larry Eiten, who was our quarterback, and he was my catcher in high school. He was killed in a car accident in the mid-'70s after he came back from playing baseball in the San Francisco Giant organization. And his widow, her sons were playing quarterback for Hopeville High School. Mm-hmm. So I was reminding the listening audience of how much the mannerisms of the quarterback, Joe Eiten, reminded me of his father, Larry Eiten, et cetera. And we talked about it and the game and so on. And she called a couple of days later and wanted to know if we had a copy of the broadcast, because she had heard that we had said things about her late husband, and her son would really want to hear about, what he was like as an athlete, because living in Hopeville, they didn't have anybody from Calexico there to tell them, his side of the story, type of thing. And so that's what I tried to bring to the broadcast through the color commentary, is try to make it more personal.
No, you guys do an excellent job. And as we all know, the Eiten family, the Eiten tradition still lives on in Hopeville. Gary, Patty, which were, I believe, Larry's brother and sister, they're and then, their children are still in there. So I know Gary and work with Patty a little bit. So it's good to see that that's still going on. Let's get to the present time right now, guys. You guys been around a long time. You've seen the ups and downs of Calexico football. There's something going on, Vic and John. And this is one of those years right now. Calexico's without a head coach. We got Ruben Castro on next. We're going to actually ask him the questions. Hey, coach, you're going to be one of the candidates to apply, and those kind of questions. What's he see in Calexico? What's he bring to the Calexico Bulldog community and stuff like that? Because in my opinion, Ron, I, and Joaquin, and even Jack Quaid, when we walked on to that field, that stadium, that high school campus, you guys have a beautiful campus. Just the way it's spread out, the baseball field, the softball field, the lights, the tennis courts. Too bad you have to walk 2 miles from the parking lot to the gym, though, God, please fix that part. But the facilities are great. And listen, I haven't gone somewhere where they announce the AD's name, Lorena Rodriguez, and she got a standing ovation, John, during the basketball game. That lady's a go-getter, really like her attitude. And then your principal must be doing something right, Mrs. I hope I'm saying it right, Gabriela Williams Ballesteros.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'd like to give a thanks to Coach Hugo. Excellent. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations to Coach Hugo taking that team and every game was decided single-digit game, whether it was the Central Spartans, or the Brawley Wildcats or Southwest, and then they came back and got stronger as the season progressed towards the end to win the CIF championship down there at Sierra High School. I thought we were both there. All of us were there. VSN was there, and you guys were there. So that was a pleasure. And then the girls basketball, you had your niece, Amanda, doing great things down there. We got to see them play against the Imperial Tiger Lady Tigers, but let me tell you, that was a different level of Lady Tigers basketball right there. So
a lot of good things going on with the basketball program, as you can tell. I mean, it was the perfect storm for the boys to take it all the way to the CIF championship and to go into the divisionals. But the girls also too. I mean, Amanda came in. She was teaching at Brawley at the beginning of the year. Saw an opening, and I know Billy Brewer was very disappointed. But he, let her go, and so she came in, and she does an outstanding job, not only coaching the girls, but relating to the players. I mean, that's a big thing nowadays as far as coaches, having that relationship with the players. But our football program, after the last 3 years under the direction of John Tyree, he's gone. He went back to Texas. He tried to instill a good program, what he called resurrecting a program, because when he came in, we were just got off an 0-10 season, and we were looking to rebound, and we came back with my nephew Frank Moreno, who was at quarterback and running the Wishbone offense. But now we're looking for a new regime to take over, to look at how they can build a program. I want to say that one of the things that we're looking at is building a fitness center out of the old Godfrey gym. That's gonna play an important part of the strength and conditioning in the off season, not only for football, but for a lot of the athletes through fall, winter, and spring. So hopefully that will get approved by the board. But yeah, we need to get a head coach. We've got a freshman program that's coming up that showed a lot of promise this season under the direction of Ruben Castro. We've been struggling with JV. We've got a young team coming up under the quarterbacking of Cesar Luna, a third-generation Bulldog.
Yes, I remember that name.
And so we're looking at seeing who's going to take the helm and run with it, because the facility is there. And the best part of the Friday nights, not only is the fans in the stands or the announcers, but the carne asada that we cook. I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah. You can see the smoke for miles, man. You can see that smoke.
Miles.
Yeah.
We need to build this program up. We need to start with the freshmen and some of the sophomores and juniors to come out and start working with our coaches. Once that happens, the football position closes the 21st of May. So hopefully we'll have someone by the next board meeting in June, the first board meeting in June, so they can start working with these kids.
Will, if I can add my 2 cents worth, a lot of things that John says are spot on, but winning cures a lot of ills. And that was evidenced in the basketball program in both the boys and girls, with Hugo Estrada, with the boys taking them to the CIF championship in their division, and Amanda Rose Gerardo Briseño now, who just celebrated her first year of being married, the wedding anniversary on May 5th. Anyway, to make a long story short, they had winning programs. They both came through the program. They're Calexico alumni, college graduates. They brought back a winning attitude, but more relating to the kids, and the kids related to them and identified. But they had structure. If you notice at all the successful high school programs here in the Valley, like at Central, at Imperial with Kerry Laguerra, Brawley with John South, they've been years in coaching, and they've been years instilling their programs, and they have the support from the administration, the community, and the school. But more importantly, what I've seen in them is they've been flexible. They've tinkered with their offense, or changed it from 3 yards in a cloud of dust mentality to adapt to the athleticism or the talents of their skill players. for example, like this quarterback for
Central.
Raleigh that came in as a freshman, Ethan Gutierrez, who was a great passer. They knew about him since he was in junior high, and then they gave him the reins early in the season in replacing the injured quarterback Ramirez that got hurt over the summer, and if I'm not mistaken, and they played to his talents, and he had skilled players. El Centro with Benito Osuna and the spread offense. Kerry Laguerra changing from a run-oriented attack with Royce Freeman and to take advantage of the quarterbacks that he had. And then this last year with Jordan Reed and came in with the spread offense as well and passing, putting the high school defenses at bay. They didn't know what was coming type of thing. And I felt that Calexico should have been doing the same instead of trying to squeeze a hole through a square or vice versa. They were stubbornly running the same running plays over and over and over, regardless of the down and yardage situation, and they weren't successful. If I was a receiver, I wouldn't want to play on that team because all I was doing was running out as a decoy, all the time. And they would never throw to me. And so you have to create a system that can make the players as successful as possible for each game, to improve and to get results. And if there's a win at the end of the game, great. But if there isn't, if the players can see that they're improving and they're enjoying it, they're going to come out to practice the next week with a lot of enthusiasm and passion and continue that on, instead of after the 4th or 5th week of the season, wondering when the season's going to come to an end so they can get ready for the next sport.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Calexico needs to do. Now, if Ruben Castro is successful in being selected, he's been a winner everywhere he's been, whether it's been at the freshman level, the JV level, at Vincent Memorial, where he helped out his younger brother, Ricky Castro. But when Ruben has been assigned a segment of the team, whether it's the defense, the offense, the linebacker, whatever, he's had a good rapport with the players, and they've always have played well. And I think he would be an excellent choice if the board decides to go with him or whoever they bring in. But and if they don't select him, I would hope that they'd have him on staff because he would be a loyal supporter of whoever is selected.
Well, good. Those are some of the questions we will ask Ruben Castro. That's very good insight from two guys that I would really trust with good information coming out of the Calexico program, especially the knowledge you have in the history and with some of the candidates that are coming up. So, in fact, we'll ask Coach Ruben Castro if he knows of any other candidates that are trying. But once again, John, deep in my heart, love the city of Calexico, love the people of Calexico, guys. You two have made me feel very comfortable and actually have challenged Ronnie and I to get to where you guys are at. So, we really do look up to you, and we admire our friendship that we have together and appreciate you guys coming on tonight.
Well, thank you very much. And just a word of advice. We try to describe the action on the field, and if we can throw a little personality into it, we will. But we never criticize the players. We'll always call out the good play, whether it's the opponent or the home team, but we'll always have something positive to say.
And then we have a tough time
for us to put our personal feelings into it and to say, oh, this guy shouldn't have been playing, or what's he doing out there, that type of thing.
We have a tough time
being positive.
We have a tough time not criticizing the officials. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
We learned our lesson.
Well, let me jump.
Three blind mice.
Hey, time out. Will, can I say something right now? No matter how I love this guy, he never lets me talk. Hey, I'm like Ed McMahon with Johnny Carson. I'm just in the sidekick laughing, drinking a beer on the side. Hey, listen, Vic and John, appreciate the kind words when you opened up, Vic. We look up to you, and if we only could be half of what you guys done for the Valley, I think we'll accomplish something with VSN. And I enjoyed hearing the words that you said, Vic. you guys remind me of Chick Hearn, Vince Scully. You're kind of getting in that little window there. So for the Valley, and I know John's a young guy. Vic, you're a pretty young spring chicken for your age, and I could only wish I could be like you guys. So thank you very much. Thank you for being a guest on our show tonight. And I hope that I wish you guys well on your search for a football coach, because Calexico needs to be an important part of the league again. And Calexico needs to be prominent again in the football arena. And I hope you guys can get there. And good luck with your coaching search. And I hope it goes well. All the best for Calexico. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And we will be back. We will be back.
That's good.
No,
good to hear.
you got to. You're going to have to be in the position where you knock somebody off the top. You know what I mean? That's the position you guys want to be in. And not to take any away, it's, you know, let's talk a little bit of honesty. But when you're playing Calapat, you can't just barely beat them by a point or two. You guys are big enough. You guys are, you know, you should be dominating those type of games. And I'm sure that's where you guys want to be at too, though. You know, so, you know, let's go, you know, up next we have Coach
Ruben.
Yeah, Ruben Castro. And listen on in, guys. Let's see what Ruben's got to say. Once again, pleasure talking to you. We'll be right back with Ruben Castro, guys. Good evening.
Later, boys.
Thank you.
Welcome, everybody, to VSN. Once again, I got Mr. Ron Rubio here, and joining us tonight as our second guest is Coach Ruben Castro. Ruben Castro has been coaching Calexico. Last year, he coached the freshman squad, and he's been in the program in Calexico many years. He's also been with Vincent Memorial. He's a lifelong Calexico Bulldog. I mean, once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog, right, Coach?
That's the way it seems, huh?
So, Coach, tell us a little bit about how you got to the position where you're at right now. The current position you're holding, Calexico, of course, is without a head coach, but you are coaching the freshman squad. Tell us a little bit what's going on with the Calexico program.
Well, you know, I was out for almost a year because for some personal stuff that I had and physically, so I didn't get to coach. I would work on the background for Coach Tyree, but didn't really do much. But once I had my surgeries and was ready to go, Coach Tyree welcomed me back on, and except that I wasn't ready to move up to that top level yet because I saw nothing at the bottom, and I figured, you know, are we spinning our wheels trying to get things fixed at the top when there's nothing at the bottom? What it had been, it had already been, 2-3 years since we've had a freshman team. And before that, we had 12, 15-man freshman team. And it was beginning to really bother me, you know, about how to fix all this. So I went ahead and asked Coach to let me coach the freshmen. And he says, well, you got a hell of a job to do because there isn't a freshman team. And I was lucky enough to have some very, very strong parental support. I had parental support from David, oh gosh, what's his last name? He's my coach too. From Coach Dave, you know, and he's the one who brought on the parents, and we started a a parent support team, almost like a booster club. And we had a parent scrambling to get, what do you call that? That IRS, that IRS code that lets them go ahead and fundraise and do their thing.
The nonprofit type of deal.
The nonprofit type thing, and they're still working on it, and it's a great group of parents, and it's a great group of young kids. I think the autopsy worked last year. How to fix it, and we had to dig deep, let's not be superficial about fixing things, let's open it up and let's see what's really wrong with this thing. We need to find out the truth. And what I told the kids from day one is, let's be honest with each other. What do we want? And the kids, they all say they want to win. I say, well, you need to understand the characteristics of winning. And it's not just wanting to win. It's what you put into the community. It's what you put in personally and what you put into your family. First and foremost, that begins to turn you into a winner. And from there, from the family comes the team family. And team will always be first. And no matter what you do or whatever it is you're thinking of doing, you need to ask yourself, is this going to help the team? And if your answer isn't a positive one, then you need to not do whatever it is you're planning to do. And the kids bought in. We started off with 35 kids, and 12 of them were struggling with grades, and I was lucky enough to have a great administrator give them the opportunity to show that they could do a lot better than where they were at. And those 12 guys all picked it up above a 2.8. Some of them are still managing a 3.0. And I'm just very proud of them because of this opportunity that they received, and the fact that things were positive, and I think that's what Calexico could really use is an anabolic agent of some positive change, and it's just a lot of, getting the kids to buy in. And I think the freshmen and a lot of those sophomores, they want in, and they're fully committed. Imagine this, 10 freshmen squatting over 350 and benching over 220. And a lot of them right on their heels coming right on up. It's I just have a great group of boys, it's, some guys say, well, you're a little small. I say, yeah, he's a little small, but don't get hit by him, because the ethos of football is contact, buddy. And he understands it, so the young kids, I believe they are the foundation right now, more than the varsity per se right now, because I honestly don't see a varsity right now. We don't have a head coach, and that's something I'm shooting for. I know Coach Tyree called me up and he says, hey, they flew the position again. Why? And I said, well, I made a mistake and missed my interview. But he says, get back on. He says, from what he understands, I'm the front runner, and the kids, they're ready to go. They're just gnawing at the bit. I get texts left and right from the young kids, and they want to know, Coach, when can we start? And I said, well, let's be safe. And let's take it a step at a time.
Let me step in. When Coach Tyree's saying he's the front runner, is Coach Tyree on the interview panel?
I don't think so. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. But he communicates with everybody here in town. So,
that's good. That's good to hear. Coach Ron, in your opinion, seeing Calexico over these years, in your opinion, outside looking in, Coach, what do you see Calexico needs to get over that hump, Coach?
Well, number one, I think they need to develop some consistency in their football program. And number one, of course, like Ruben says, they need a head coach. But one thing that, I've always wondered about Calexico with their population, it wasn't too far long ago where at one point, instead of just one solid freshman team, and Ruben can correct me on this, but there was a Deanza, there was Willie Moreno, and I think even a Calexico Bulldog team, if I'm not mistaken, or they were that consisted of their freshman team or their lower level teams. And I think what they need to do, wasn't that right, Coach?
Yes, it was. We had two freshman team, a JV team and a varsity team.
Yeah, and that wasn't too far back, and they had that. So number one, it's the numbers. I mean, you can't coach kids if you don't have the kids. Now, I don't know what the turnout's going to be, but just like everywhere else, numbers are starting to drop down. Kids aren't really coming out for football. It's happening everywhere. But for Calexico, the size of Calexico, my opinion, what they need is a man like Ruben Castro. I mean, I'm not his agent, but however, I've heard nothing but good things about him. And number one, if the kids see and believe in a guy like Ruben, then they'll follow. I mean, it sounds kind of corny, but it's true. If they're used to his methods, he has a proven record of having success, kids will buy into that. They know him. They're familiar with him. If you bring in an outsider, this outsider guy's going to be somebody, hey, man, who's this guy? What does he do? They may not like the things he does. They may not like the program steps that they're doing. But right now, what they need, for me, I think they just need familiarity. They're familiar with Coach Ruben. They know what he's going to bring. The kids, the way the off-season working, not just what they do on the field, and then Ruben with the staff or whoever staff comes in, they just got to hit. They're going to hit the ground running. They're going to hit just like everybody else, but especially them because they don't have a coach, and now they're on to something new. But if they have something familiar, hey, that's what Coach Tyree did. We did something similar to that, and then just adapt their offense and defense to the kind of personnel they have. Calexico can go a far way. Why? Because they have the population to do it. They have a student population. I truly believe that. And all they need is a man, a person that can guide them. Right now, Ruben, just like John Moreno said, or I don't know if it was Vic or Johnny said it, this guy could be the front runner. If I'm the school board members, I'm looking at this podcast right now and saying, you know what? Let's not beat around the bush. Let's get this man a whistle. Let's get to business. Let's start rocking and rolling on football.
There you go, Coach. You just got verified by Coach Ron Rubio, man.
Yeah,
let's just hope he's on the interview panel. Not Coach, not just Vic and them, but we have heard positive things from other coaches around there in Pearl Valley, because one of the questions that was asked this week to me was, hey, did they hire somebody down there in Calexico? And I go, according to Coach Castro, they have not filled that position yet, but I do know that they had opened up May 1st. The good thing is, Coach, there's a deadline there. You said the 26th of May or
the 21st.
The 21st of May.
Or
21st. It's the 21st of June?
21st of May. No,
21st of May. Well, that's good, Coach. I mean, hey, look, at least, and Coach, let's just say for whatever reason you don't get picked. Will you still want to join the coaching staff? Or even if it's at the lower levels, or I mean, you're a true bulldog. I mean, I see you as still wanting to be a part of it.
It's I'm not a selfish person when it comes to coaching. It's
can't be.
I just love lifting these kids out of the worst condition, academically, physically, and I guess in the standings, and trying to get them to where they want to be. And when you see the success, their expressions when they feel success, it's just an incredible feeling, It's I just want to help the kids in Calexico, out of football poverty, let's call it. It's
that's a good term right there.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Hey, Coach, will you give me a call whichever way it goes? Will you give me a call and let me know what happens with that position?
I will give you a call.
I appreciate that very much. Our time was cut short, but there's no way we can cut John Moreno and Vic Carrillo off at any time. Anytime you get a chance to interview those two guys, we just wing it with them, because they do lead the way down there. They do lead the way with us, and they do lead the way in Imperial Valley, and they conduct themselves like true gentlemen on and off the field. So we wish you here at VSN, we wish you the best of luck, and I made a commitment to you, Coach. There's so much school spirit. There's so much school spirit down there in Calexico. VSN wants to be a part of that. We were down there for the tail end of the girls basketball, and then we followed the boys basketball all the way to the Sierra High School down there, the CIF championship. And we want to be part of that Calexico football. So, let's just hope that we'll see each other on the field again and be working together again.
Well, if I'm given the opportunity, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to bring back the school spirit and bring back the school pride and honor. Because once the kids get a taste of what it really is, I don't think there's any turning back for them. I think they're just going to explode and take off, you know, and I'm just excited about working with this young group, you know, and watching them grow up. You know, I just texted with a young fella who kind of feels like I'm not going to coach. And I told him, look, here's the deal. In a few years, by the time you're a senior, we're going to make history here in Calexico, whether I'm a head coach or not. So you just get ready.
That's great positive attitude there, Coach. Either way, I love hearing that. So once again, thanks for your time. You know, keep the hope alive. And thank you very much from us here at VSN for letting us interview you and give us a little bit of insight of what's going on down there in Calexico.
Hey, thank you guys for having me and for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys a little bit about Calexico football.
We appreciate that, Coach. Hey, Coach, well, hold on. How much are we going to charge Ruben for this video resume that he just performed for us, for the job?
Yeah,
I'm going to say, at least a couple of beers and tacos at DePoli or something like that.
All right, Coach. We'll talk to you later, man.
Later,
Please
Coach. Good luck, man.
All right, man. You guys have a good one.
Okay,
Later.
VSN will be right back with Coach Wally Grant from Palo Verde. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Will Torres with VSN. My partner next to me right here is Mr. Coach Ron Rubio, and our special guest today from the Palo Verde area, second-year coach for the Palo Verde Yellow Jackets out of Blythe, California, Mr. Wally Grant. Like I said a little while ago, it's his second year with the Wildcats, with the Yellow Jackets, excuse me, Coach. We're going to learn a little bit of history about Coach here. He coached down in the West Coast, and tell us how you got to be to Palo Verde. I know you were telling us you had a home here on the river, Coach, and that was one of the things that brought you down here. And Palo Verde was looking for a coach, but you had a lot of college experience before you got here. Is that correct?
Yeah, I coached from 2015, 16, and 17 at Orange Coast College down in Orange County.
Yeah. The one thing we did when we were testing the Zoom thing is that Wally said his internet is not that good, but the good thing about it was he was living on the river. And I go, hey, look, you can't get bad. So even though we still got a still picture on Coach Wally Grant, we're still going to get the audio on here. And with that said, Ron, we had a couple of questions in regards to Coach Wally's young football team that he's got coming up with the Yellow Jackets.
Hey, Coach, yeah, real quick, man. What just for the folks who do not know, what kind of offense is Palo Verde running? Are you running this year? What's your offense? What label do you put on it?
It's pitch and trap.
Wow.
We're a double wing team, and it's just run, run, run. I learned for a year at Orange Coast College, and we had success, and it's just something I've always relied on.
It's something you're comfortable with and something you're comfortable calling right. Hey, Coach, one more thing. If there's like you have just to kind of get a feel for who your players are, if there's the last play, you're on the 2-yard line, who are you giving the ball to?
Oh, it's gonna be 36 pitch, and it's probably gonna be to my freshman running back, Marcus Macon, and let him go.
Yeah, Marcus Macon.
So
Yeah,
we only run 4 plays.
Yeah, I hear that. It's kind of like the veer when Brawl used to run the veer. We just run inside, outside veer and option, 3-4 plays. That's it. This is what we do. Stop us. I like that attitude, Coach. And you know that's a really good. You know, it's a good foundation, especially for teams that you're trying to build up, such as Palo Verde. Coach, what about your defense? What kind of defense you guys running this year? What is the same defense you ran last year?
Yeah, it's all based on the old Arizona flex. So depending on if we're playing against a tight end or we're playing against a spread, then it can morph into a 5-3 or a 4-4 or a 4-3, depending on what we see. But our basic foundations are the same. We don't change our techniques. I may have to remove the flex linebacker and put in a nickel backer, but that's the only variance, whether we play a tight end or an empty team.
That's very good. Very good. Sounds consistent. Coach, one more question I have for you now. With the numbers that you have at Palo Verde, is it safe to say that now it will be a frosh soft at the lower level, or do you guys plan on having 3 levels, you know, your freshman, your JV, and your varsity for this upcoming season?
I would love to have 3 levels, believe me, but due to some of our economic restraints, the schools really only allow me to have 2 levels. So I'm hoping that we can raise enough money over the next year or 2 and basically self-fund our JV level.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's kind of rough everywhere, Coach. Listen to this. Now, are you involved in the passing league in the summertime? Usually, Palo Verde used to be in the passing league. Will you guys be participating this summer if there is a passing league?
I would love to do some passing leagues, mainly for my defense, because we don't throw the ball a whole lot, you know, so my secondary doesn't get challenged a whole lot during practice. So it would be nice defensively for us to do that, so we can see guys that can throw the ball 50, 60 yards in the air, because I don't normally have a quarterback that can air it out that far. I mean, I've got good quarterbacks, and I've had quarterbacks throw for, 1,500 yards, which in our offense is a huge plus, because we're usually rushing for, 3,000, 4,000 yards a year. So, yeah, I would love to do it, but I don't think we're going to have any summer football this year.
Well, that's kind of a downer, but hey, I like that. I like that attitude. I mean, that's a great approach. And that goes for all of us. I mean, here at Brawley, when you do scout team offense, you're never going to have a guy that can air the ball out if you're going to play a team that throws the ball. And getting the most out of passing is just like you said. It's for the DBs, developing skills, your backers and DBs. Seems like you're on the right path in that mode. Will, what do you have for the coach?
Well, there's 2 subjects I want to talk about, Coach. One of the subjects is the young team that you got coming in. You had a very strong frosh soft team last year, and those guys are going to be at the varsity level. You're going to have 2 years, to work with them. Now, that's looking pretty good to come in, Coach, right there. This is going to be your 3rd year. Is that correct, Coach?
My 2nd year.
Okay, it'll be your
Last
2nd year.
Was my 1st year.
And so that's a good group of kids to come in. And what's the numbers on that group of kids? Because I did get a chance to watch them when they were in Brawley, and that was a tight game right there. You had a frosh soft playing the JV team, and they gave them a good game. It was a pretty good game. So you have some good things coming at you in the next 2 years here, Coach.
Yes, no, I do, and I had 3 freshmen starting for me this whole year, so that's that was taken away from that lower level. So yeah, I have a pretty strong group of kids coming up that I'm really looking forward to. The cupboards are not as bare as I was led to believe. Good. So we'll see how those kids fit in. I've got 7 kids coming back on the offense, 5 on the defense. Mm-hmm. And I think some of those kids, the sophomores, are going to plug right in.
Man, those are good numbers, because not only does he have them next year, he has them the year after that too. So that's a positive right there. The other thing, Ron, that's positive for Coach Grant right here is that he's changing leagues, Ron. He is no longer going to be in the Imperial Valley League. Paul Verde has decided to join the old Manzanita League and join the Desert League, where his opponents will be Hopeville. It'll be Mountain Empire. It'll be Vincent Memorial and Calapat. So he didn't like when I used that term that he's going to be one of the top dogs up there, but there's no denying him. He will be one of the top three teams up there. I mean, that's my opinion of it right there, Coach. What's your thoughts on that? Like
I said earlier, Vincent beat us and Hopeville beat us. So, I'm looking right now, we're battling for third in that league. So I know Hopeville, our lower level lost to them. I mean, it was a heck of a game, but we lost to them at the lower level. So we'll see how that plays out. I mean, we're excited. We're basically, we're playing Brawl in the preseason. I think we're going to play Yuma Catholic. So, I mean, our preseason is going to be loaded. So I'm hoping we have bodies left over to go into that league. But, we'll see how that plays out. Granted, it's not Brawley we're playing. It's not Central we're playing, but we're still playing teams that beat us. So it's not like we're walking in, with our mouths, watering, saying we're going to walk through this. Our kids know that we have a lot of work ahead of us, and there's no overlooking any opponent each week.
Nah, that's a true fact. Well said there, Coach. Well said. Well, once again, Coach, we appreciate you, and it's a pleasure to get to know you. We got to know each other. Ronnie and I and yourself had a good opportunity to talk and get to know each other. We look forward to hopefully VSN doing one of your games when you're down here, or you never know when we might have to travel to Palo Verde up there. So with that said, once again, we're going to wish you the best of luck. We hope to see you down here in the passing league. We don't know what's going on with that, obviously, but we appreciate you taking time out to have the interview with us and joining us tonight. And we look big things coming out of Palo Verde, especially these next 2 years. Ron?
Coach, yeah, I just wish you luck, man. I know it's a tough battle starting on your second year. The league that you're going into, it sounds tough, but I think Palo Verde, you guys have taken your lumps over the years, and I think you guys should come back and make yourself proud, Coach, you and your players. And I wish you a lot of luck and take care these days.
Thanks, guys, and you too. Good luck, Coach, and good talking to you guys, and stay safe.
See you down the road, Coach.
Wait, I got breaking news right now. I just got handed a breaking news. Now, Coach, do you know anything about this? I just got a message right now that Vincent Memorial will be joining the IVL League. Do you know anything about that, Coach Grant?
No, that's news to me. So,
well, it didn't come from me. I'm just the messenger here. So that, Ron, that could that changes things up right there. I don't see, and so that people know, by the way, we did ask Coach Wong. I reached out to him a couple of times. We had a little miscommunication. We did ask him to come on, so I forgot to mention that earlier. We didn't want to leave anybody out, so we asked everybody to come on board, and I guess we just didn't connect, me and Coach Wong. But God, I'd sure like to have Coach Wong and ask him that, but it doesn't matter. We'll find that answer out tonight with Craig Lyons up next, right, Ron?
That's right. Well, it looks like Coach Grant's in second place now. If Vincent's out of the picture, boom. All you do is looking up at Holville.
Now you're the top two dog, Coach. And everybody just heard what you said. So
that's baloney, man. This was National Enquirer. This isn't the National Enquirer. This is Valley Sports Network.
All right, Coach, man.
Well, if he verifies that, send me a text, because now I got more scheduling. I'm still looking for another game. I still have one more preseason game.
Well,
that's cool. Now we've got the word out. Let's get the word out, Will.
Well, go to VSN on Facebook and continue with the interviews, Coach. Craig Lyons up next. So right after this break, Coach, we wish you the best of luck. We hope to see you down the field. And VSN will be right back after this break.
Good night, Coach.
everybody. Sorry we took so long. Craig Lyon and I and Ron Rubio were having a great little discussion with the comment that came from John Moreno right now that Vincent Memorial is joining the IVL League. But I think we're going to iron that out right now. But before that first question comes around, you know, our next guest is Craig Lyon. Of course, if anybody in Central, you know him from him being his 19 years at Southwest, from being custodian. I think he started all the way to the librarian, all the way he wore every hat down there at Southwest. Now, the rumor has it, I don't know if he left or they got rid of him because of this thing called the Lion Jinx. We're going to have to ask him about that.
A curse, or something like that.
But the thing is, what's funny is that when they shipped him over to CUHS High School to be principal down there, the curse stayed with him. We're going to find out what he did to get rid of it. So, Craig, welcome to VSN headquarters.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me on tonight.
Yeah, and, you know, we appreciate everything you've always done for us down there at Central ever since VSN has started. And, you know, one of the things I want to get over with, I know this is Sandy's new gyms last year. I got to know her this past year, and you know, it's not that we started rough, but I think she needed Billy Brewer's, hey, listen, who's this guy that keeps calling me that wants to get in here? And once Billy gave Sandy the green light, everything was piece of cake after that. So I appreciate everything that Sandy did for me, and I want to congratulate her and her and her husband. I know, you know, they're still going to be active in the program and stuff like that. So, you know, nothing but good things I got to say about Sandy, and congratulations to her. You know, it's good to see somebody, you know, that's done well, you know, on and off the field and go out like that, just happy, I guess, you know. And she drives a Jeep, so she's got to be cool as heck.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, we obviously, I've known Sandy for a long time. Actually, Sandy coached my sister in volleyball way back in the early 90s. And so I've known Sandy for a long time, played a lot of over the line with her and done some things with that. But I mean, she spent 32 years there at Central and working as an athletic director. You know, I was an assistant athletic director under Steve Evangelist, and Sandy was the athletic director assistant at Central. So we've had a long relationship, and the opportunity to come and work with her at Central the last 5 years has been awesome. She's one of a kind, and we're gonna miss her as she moves on and enjoys you know, retirement. But you know, we know that she's going to continue to be around. She'll be on the sideline watching our football games or basketball games or you name it. She's excited to continue to be a part of Central. She's, you know, a true Spartan.
Yes, she is. You know, and I have a lot of things to ask you, but you know, you're bringing up some stuff. So I don't know, did you happen to see VSN last night with superintendent down there of Nyland, Mr. Doug Klein?
Oh, Doug Klein. Yeah, I know Doug. I got parts of it. So I heard a few things that he talked about down there. Yeah. And the rumors are true that we are stealing one of his, we're taking his athletic director, Josh Wise from Calapat, and he's going to be coming over and replacing Sandy. He's got big shoes to fill, but you know what? Josh is, I've got to watch him and work with him over the last 5 years. One as you know, watching him as an athletic director, but also as, you know, as an official, going in there and seeing him when he takes care of things at Calapat. So we're excited to have Josh Wise be a part of our program at Central, and we'll see what it can take us. You know, I mean, we're just, you know, I mean, he's another kid from the North End that we're going to bring over and make great at Central.
So, you know, congratulations on that. We're also big Josh Wise fans. I mean, big Josh Wise. You know, he paid his dues down there in Calapat, and I think it'd be safe to say he started talking less and listening more, and he really enhanced his skills. I mean, he really honed them down. He's got a lot of energy. You know, he's, every time we've, you know, reached out to Calapat, Josh has always been there to help VSN. So a big congrats, big shoes to fill. And let me tell you, I'm sure he's excited, Ron. I mean, we know Josh. I mean, that's a dream job down there. Is that the job that the envy of Imperial Valley was?
Well, let me tell you something. You know, moving to Central High from Calapat, it's going to be a challenge for Josh. But I think, like you said, when you met with the challenge, if you have the energy and the drive, hey, all he has to do is listen to Craig and, just follow the footsteps of Sandy. They've got a good football program. Everything that's good in El Centro will help Josh. And like I said, the kid has energy. He has youth in him. I think Josh obviously he was the hire, so he had the experience and the know-how to do the job. And all he has to do is follow the lead. I mean, there's been the evangelists, Sandy, Craig. It's just the way of being consistent, following their tradition. Good hire for El Centro, and I wish nothing but the best for Josh and Craig. But I'm wondering, why are they getting all these Brawley boys to run that program over there in El Centro? I've been scratching my head and shaking my head on that. No, it's just what a coincidence. Small world, Craig. Small world.
It's kind of like all of us Central guys are running all the schools with Doug Klein and Simon.
Right.
I mean, it's just the way.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you got me on that one.
Hey, I'm telling you, all the administrators pretty much in the Valley. Brian Thomason, we're all Central grads.
Hey, but get a load of this. We're Valley Sports Network. What I think is a cool thing, Craig, about this. Even in your case, the administrators, the ADs, they're all ex-athletes, man. Sports got them the discipline. That's my firm belief. That it's been part of my life. The discipline I learned doing sports, starting in Little League all the way up, and it's just great to see that. That's a perfect example for all these kids that play for us.
Well, and I think the biggest thing about that is that we built relationships through sports. Mm-hmm. And I think, because I have the utmost respect for, Doug Klein and Simon Canales and Brian Thomason and Joe Apodaca and all. But those are the things is that, we built all those relationships by being athletes here in the Imperial Valley. And that connection is awesome.
That's for sure.
Being an administrator, you guys from Central, Coach, let's take a game, for example. Let's take the Bell game. Tell us some of the bets that go on. Well, I wouldn't call them bets, but some of the wagers that go on, let's say between you and Jesse Sanchez down there, or you and anybody else in Brawley.
And it's funny, I learned a long, long time ago that I don't bet on my team. That's the crazy part. But we do have some fun with each other. There's conversations over and over. When I first took over the first couple of years when we lost the Bell game, when I was at Central, I took some jabs from Jesse and those guys, and then the last 3 years we've been able to give it back to Brawley. But it's all in fun. We're definitely not in a betting game, and we don't I don't have enough hair to shave my head or do something like that. But we do definitely have a lot of fun with each other, and when we do get a chance, there's a few pictures of the Bell that's sent over there to Billy and Jesse. But it's all fun because we we have great relationships with them. But yeah, it definitely is a big football game, so it's important to us.
Yeah, there's a lot of bragging rights going on with that game. Let's talk a little bit about your years down there at Southwest. Tell me a little bit about this Lion Jinx.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of history on it, but give me your part about it. What explain it from your point of view.
Well, actually what it is the fact that, my last 10 years there at Southwest, we had lost the city championship to Central. And granted, they didn't, I love Southwest. They treated me well for 19 years. I don't think they shipped me out because of the jinx, but when I did get the job at Central, I went over to the Central, and in the first year I got to Central, we lost the city championship for the next 3 years. So I had a 13-game losing streak, 10 at Southwest and 3 at Central with the city championship. So yeah, the Lion Jinx was pretty strong. And then you add the fact that we lost the Bell game the first 2 years. So it was difficult. People were laughing at the fact that the Lion Jinx was going wherever I was at. And so it kind of worked out that way.
Now, you also gave me an explanation of where that Lion Jinx got transferred to.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard that.
Yeah,
now, I don't believe it. That's just a rumor, but.
No, actually, I'm waiting to see, but it's been pretty strong for 3 years in a row because we won the Bell game for 3 years in a row and we won the city championship. But the reason that I keep it's an ongoing joke in my family is that my daughter was hired at Brawley 3 years ago, and so 3 years ago we started winning bell games. So I think I sent the Lions to Brawley, even though she doesn't want to know it, and I laugh about it, and Jesse laughs about it, and Simon does. But I think we sent the Brawley jinx. Sent it to Brawley, so that's why I've been successful the last 3 years. It has nothing to do with Coach Pena and all the wonderful things that he's done, but the Lion jinx that we sent to Brawley.
Hey, well, I'll let John Self know what the issue is, so she's out of there. What's her first name? Transfer.
Hey,
I think Calexico's looking for one.
Yeah, I know. John's wife loves working with my
All right.
daughter, so she's a great teacher, and I know Brawley loves to have her there. I hope that it has nothing to do with the Lions, but she's a great teacher there in Brawley and loves working there. So it's great that I have my daughter working in Brawley, and I'm the principal at Central, so we have fun on bell game nights.
Oh,
Good
that
deal,
sounds like
good
a lot
deal.
of fun,
Nice.
man. That just adds a little bit more flavor to the sauce there, man. That's great to know. One of the other things we want to cover with you, Coach, you're also the president of Imperial Valley Coaches Association for the football program, and I believe the date was in May. I mean, or when was that banquet?
March.
Yeah, it was going to be in March. Yeah, we hoped to do it. I think it was like March 20th or somewhere around there. It was a Saturday in March, kind of after that Saturday after the fair, like we normally did. So we have everything set up for the induction Hall of Fame dinner, and we were all set to go. And then with this COVID thing, we had to postpone. So our goal is to try to set something up in the fall, depending on when we can do something. We want to give a credit to the Club because they've been nothing but gracious and working with us to try to set up a date when another date comes available.
Yeah, in fact, when they do open up everything, Coach, it's going to be a wave of everything. Everybody's going to have to catch on to, I mean, starting with just the sports program. I mean, okay, like they're going to blow that whistle and everybody's going to be out the gates, That's, you got 2 weeks and you got a game in 2 weeks, I mean, that's what it sounds like it might happen. We don't know what's going to happen till this day. Right now, we do not know what is the situation. Is that correct, Coach?
Yeah. I mean, we're still at that point. I know CIF is going to get together and talk about things to determine what our next steps are. So, I mean, we're in the waiting game. I mean, it's, as the principal, I'm still in the waiting game with what we're going to do academically next year, both athletically. And I mean, so it's as you said, I think when they tell us we're good to go, we're going to be ready for it. And no matter what, it could be a shortened season or it could be a full season. And we're excited about, what it offers to us next year, because we have a great schedule. So we're hoping that we're going to play all of our games. That's something I wanted to touch on. Me and Ron were talking about that. We happened to see the Spartan schedule and we go, look, man, their first game, I believe, was going to be at home against who was it?
Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel. I go, look, this is going to be a tough schedule. You had a lot of tough teams up there at Christian and stuff. Then all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, you come up with the big surprise, and you got Texas coming into the house, man. Great job landing them. And as Ron can tell you, and you were there, talk about hospitality when we went to El Paso, right, Craig?
Oh, absolutely. Second to none, man. They were a class act. I mean, they took care of us from the time that we arrived until the time that we left. So we were excited that Coach Pena and his staff were able to kind of work a deal out to get us to have Del Valle come down and actually be a part of our community and play on a Friday night down here in California. So we're excited as could be to have that opportunity to play them this year again. Well, as Ronnie will attest, VSN's also excited. Hopefully we get the chance to cover them, if everything works out right and with everything going on. And, congratulations on Josh Wise hiring. We believe, VSN believes that's a good choice. I'm glad you guys made that choice. Congratulations to Sandy. Well-deserved retirement. We still hope to see her around, and just super great people. And congratulations to you, Craig. I mean, we've been into your office. You got a lot of metal ringing around there, man. And
you know, it's accumulation of a lot of hard work. You know, you got Central Union High School looking very good right now. You got the new building going up. I mean, that thing's going to be awesome right there. I heard there's going to be like a VIP lodge in there, I heard, or something like that. I mean, that's just what they're saying, you know. But you got some good things happening there, Coach, and I appreciate all the hospitality you have shown VSN, you know, including yourself down to Sandy, doing your IT guys, even I believe, you know, the equipment manager, Francisco was his name?
Kiko. Yeah, Kiko Tamayo.
Yeah.
Kiko.
And, you know, just really helping us out, man. Every time we had a broadcast there in El Centro, really appreciated your help. You know, Rookie and his coaching staff always, you know, gave us the time and everything, you know, to showcase these student athletes and stuff. So, you know, we hope to continue that. And you know, every year we at VSN want to get better. You know, that's our goal, is to get better.
Well, and we truly appreciate VSN because, you know, I mean, the things that you do, not only to support the IVFCA with our Hall of Fame dinner last year, but promoting high school athletics here in the Valley. I mean, that's important to us. Like you said, you went all the way to El Paso to be a part of our journey, and that's a credit to all of you. We appreciate that. I mean, we're here for the student athletes.
That's right.
That's what I think is evident at Central, I think, right now. With all of our coaches, they do a great job. Coach Payne and his staff is just amazing. And the connections that they make with the other parts of it, you know, our great Spartan band and everybody else, you know.
Yes.
And that's the Valley. You know, I mean, our Valley Friday nights are fun. And for you to have an opportunity to go to Texas and see us there, and then for them to come to us, I mean, we appreciate everything that VSN does for us too. So it goes both ways.
I appreciate that. So, Ron, you got any last words for Craig Lyon?
No, I just want to thank Craig for being a guest tonight. I mean, he has words of wisdom. I love what he says. And another thing I want the public to know is Craig also serves as a referee in basketball, and he's an umpire for baseball. And let me tell you, that's a noble profession, man, being a referee. I started refereeing about 4 years ago with the football. And let me tell you, it's something that it's not built for everybody. Not everybody's built for that. Nobody's cut for that material. Will Torres did it for X amount of years. Craig helped me out at the basketball. I mean, I remember training with Craig here in Brawley during a JV scrimmage. We did Brawley. And let me tell you, man, very noble guy, Craig. I really appreciate all the help you've given myself and my kids, Roman and Ross, as basketball referees. So hats off. I salute you. And congratulations on all the success you're doing at El Centro High, man. You deserve it.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, I mean, as you said, being an official is sometimes a thankless job, but you know what?
Really?
It's around those student athletes and getting to see them in a different light. And so it's a stress relief for me. So I love it. I enjoy being a part of that. Hopefully, you know, and I know both of you being officials understand exactly what we go through sometimes.
Exactly.
We just do it because we love being around these student athletes, and that's why I hope to continue for years to do that and support whoever wants to be an official. We always need officials. You know that.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true. Well, once again, Craig, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Everybody at Central Union High School, we appreciate it. And we'll definitely be talking to you sooner than later. And want to say a good night. We're going to let you leave, and me and Ronnie are going to call it a night after this. We got a couple of words to say, and have a nice evening there, Coach, man. We'll see you later. Thanks for being on.
Thank you
Good night,
so much
Craig.
for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Once again, I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Ronnie, I want to thank you. I mean, people don't realize how great of an asset you are up there in that booth for me. I mean, if you guys, it's pretty evident to a lot of people that know football how good Ronnie is. All I got to do is feed him a little bit of information, and Coach Ron Rubio just, you know, we make a good team up there, and I hope everybody's enjoying what we do for the, you know, for the community, for the scholar athletes, and for everybody in the Valley here. And, you know, we got some plans with VSN, you know, we've got some good things coming up. We're discussing them. I'm waiting for this COVID-19 thing to finish, and we still don't know nothing about that. One thing I do want to announce, tomorrow being Thursday, our guest at 7 o'clock is going to be the legend, coach Mike Swearingen. They were going to go with enthusiastic sophomore coach at 7:15, Coach Haynes out of Southwest High School. He's got some good things coming up there at Southwest, Ron. He's got a young team. He's
Right.
going to a different division. He's still going to be in the IVL league, but he's excited. He's super excited about the division they have placed him in. He's got, you know, he wants to get this program going. I mean, this guy's pumped. This guy's pumped, ready to go. And as our third guest, we're going to have, and you know, he is a new coach, but he's a new coach at Imperial. This guy's not a new coach anywhere he's going. He's shown that he is successful wherever he goes. He's been part of the Imperial coaching staff the last couple of years. He turned the Pat Hornets around, Ronnie David Shaw. He turned that program around, you know, got the kids coming. Actually, one of them made it to the NFL out of that group. I forgot his name. It's not Derek, but anyways, it's Thompson. He played for the Minnesota.
Thompson, yeah, right. The safety.
Cedric was his name.
Cedric
yes.
Tom played at the University of Minnesota.
Yeah, correct. So David Shaw might be new as a head coach to the Imperial Tigers, but he's not new to coaching at all. We've seen that guy come around since the kid was playing Pop Warner. He was an excellent athlete. Now, you know, it's time to coach his home team. He's back home, you know, as a head coach, and he's got some exciting news with the offense he's going to run, and he's going to introduce his staff on here. So we got some good things. And then we're going to have Victor Cruz. We had a lot of fun with Victor Cruz the other day. Ronnie and I
just testing, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with Victor, man. We had some good laughs. So we're going to end it with Victor that night, and that'll be tomorrow's lineup. So from Will Torres, Ron Rubio, this is VSN. Hope to see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock. See you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Good night.